Welcome to the weekly share of the Zera Shimshon. This will be shorter because it's Parshat Hazino, it's Erev Yom Kippur, and Erev Shabbos. So everything put together. We'll do the best we can, and I'm sure this will be a nice message for this Parshat Shabbos Shuvah. It says in the Hazino, the Zera Shimshon, Zecher Tzadik Kodesh V'Racha, he says in Parshat Daled, Shuva Yisrael ad Hashem Elokech kechashato b'aveinecha kechu yimachem dvorim v'shuva el Hashem. Makshim lama, so the world, so return Yisrael until Hashem, because you've stumbled in your sin. Take with you words and you will turn to God. So the Makshim lama mitchila amar shuva Yisrael b'lashon yachid. Why does it say in the beginning that you should return Israel, which is a singular expression to the individual? Well, the Besayf, it says, Kuchu imachem devarim b'lashon rabim. And then at the end of the pasuk, it says, you should take words in the plural. Veheim, mamahem ador elu advarim. What are these words? Ve'echad b'dvarim shayich lashon kecha. And how can you express that taking words is an expression of purchasing? Why does it say in the beginning, until God? And in the end it says, to your God, your Lord. Sometimes the word ad means ad ve'ad v'chlal. And sometimes it says ad v'loy ad v'chlal. Sometimes it means until, but not including. And other times it means including. The Gemara in Brachas Daf Chav Bava on the base says, you can look it up over there. The Chazal said in Gemara in Yoma Pei Vav on the base, Ki ha'aise tshuva miyira. Somebody who does tshuva from fear, Eino gadol koichai. That's not such a big power that he has. Like he would do it if he did it from love. Shezez the dainais. Why? What's the difference? Because if he does tshuva miyira, the intentional sins become like unintentional sins. Okay, it only goes up one level or go down one level, whichever you want. But if he does tshuva mi'ava, even his intentional sins become like merits, which is a puzzling thing in itself. Okay, the kavanas of pasuk kach, the intention of the pasuk in Hosea is like this. Mitchila liyachid. In the beginning, the first thing a person should do is he should do tshuva. Sheyoshev tshuva mi'achidi. He should do tshuva by himself. Lefisha hashav b'tshuva yachidi hu siman sheshav minira. If he does tshuva by himself, it's a sign he did it from fear. Shedayo lahatzel satzmeim. It suffices for him to do it tshuva by himself. She'ein kain ma she'ein kain im hayoshav mi'ava. But if somebody does tshuva from love, then because he helps other people to do tshuva because he loves God so much. That's why in the beginning it says, return Israel, even though you're an individual. It only reaches till God, which is fear of God. It doesn't include it. It's not inclusive. Kain shuva, but still do the tshuva. At least the intentional sins will not be so severe because they'll be like unintentional. But if you help other people to do tshuva as well, and as you'll influence them by speaking out words of musar, of influence, and rebuke, that is, you'll be able to take with your words, and then you'll be able to return to Hashem mamish completely. And it says at the end of the pasuk, and your lips will be like bringing karbonis. It's interesting that Korach also said, V'yikach Korach, he convinced them by talking to them and convincing them that his scheme to overtake Moshe Rabbeinu was worthwhile. Here's the segula. There's a two-part segula. I'll tell you one this week. One for this week. It says, Segula of Zera Shimshon. The following letter was written to the Institute for the Study of Zera Shimshon, to Rab Zilberberg and Rab Pashkis. My name is Amos Porat, and I'm sure that's a pseudonym, and I live in Ra'anana. Through much of last year, I suffered terribly from fatigue. I wasn't lazy, and I went to the doctor for tests, but they weren't able to uncover any specific reason for my constant tiredness. I didn't give up and continued visiting different doctors, but none of their ideas and suggestions helped me at all. I took several different medicines and vitamins, changed my diet, began a serious exercise regimen, but nothing worked. It reached to the point where I would be forced to stop working in the middle of the day because I would become so tired that I just couldn't carry on doing my job. Even on the rare days that I was able to get through my normal hours, I would collapse the second I walked through the door of my house from sheer exhaustion. As you can imagine, much of my time was spent trying to figure out a way to get myself out of a never-ending cycle of fatigue that was ruining my life. One day I heard about the Sefer Zera Shimshon and how learning it was considered a major segula for all sorts of things. Since I'm a gabbai in one of the local shuls in Ra'anana, I decided to establish a shir in Zera Shimshon at my shul. I made an announcement in my shul that we were about to begin a brand new shir in Zera Shimshon on Shabbos Parshas Nitzavim, a shir that I would be delivered to the tzibur. We were all set to begin, and many of my family members had agreed to join, when to my tremendous chagrin, I found myself unable to get out of bed at any time during that Shabbos. The crowd that gathered for the shir eventually realized that I would not be putting in an appearance, and ended up learning Zera Shimshon on their own because there was no one to give this scheduled shir. Now you can imagine how I felt. Here I'd been trying my best to give this a shot, going so far as to starting my own shir. Yet I have been unable to get myself through the front door. It was disheartening, to say the least. It was Elul when I decided to start the Zera Shimshon shir, and Rosh Hashanah was approaching. I told the people who had committed to the shir that I would be delivering a double shir, one on the part of the Parsha and second part on Rosh Hashanah. Here comes the fantastic part. I finally managed to deliver the shir, and to my great surprise and relief, my fatigue problems vanished. It was absolutely incredible. I'd been suffering for so long, tried so many different remedies and ideas, and the moment I began teaching Zera Shimshon, everything changed for the better. I decided that I had better let you know what happened to me so that you can spread the word and write my story in your weekly newsletter. This story should be reinforced that with your readers already know Zera Shimshon isn't just a regular sefer. Thank you very much. Amos Porat and Ra'anana. Have a wonderful Shabbos. May we all have our Zedainos turn into Zechuyos from Ahavas Hashem and helping other people learn the Zera Shimshon. And have a wonderful Gebench New Year Gemar Chasim Taiva to everybody.